Fairfield County, New Haven, and all along the shoreline. Melissa in the Morning brings you the latest on Southern Connecticut's news and information leader, WICC 600 AM and 107.3 FM.
I am excited to welcome to the show this morning attorney Melissa Needle of Needle Cuda. Good morning, Melissa. How are you?
Good morning, Melissa. I'm well. How are you?
Well, I'm great. I mean, it's wonderful to find someone with such a great name. It's hard to find.
I know. There's two of us out there.
I know, right? Oh, I'm so glad to have you here. For anyone who doesn't know, Fairfield County is the most affluent county in one of the most affluent states. And Lower Fairfield is known as the Gold Coast and a favorite of old money elite. It is home to hedge fund owners, large company CEOs, and celebrities. And this concentration of wealth and influence must be, I would think, Melissa, pretty big for you guys when it comes to complicated divorces. Could you give us sort of an idea of what you guys deal with?
Yeah, sure. Our firm focuses quite a bit on these high net worth celebrity-like clients that may have very complex property and asset division and income structures. And our cases often involve the division of these complicated assets, such as, multi-generational wealth, or some folks have elaborate family trusts and businesses. They might have multiple homes, including homes overseas. Unfortunately, I don't get to travel overseas very often to see the clients' homes, but we often will be dealing with issues related to properties internationally. A client might have exotic assets, such as extensive art and wine collections, or vintage cars, or even racehorses. And we're actually seeing a lot of cryptocurrency and blockchain issues arising in our cases.
Oh, sure. That makes sense.
Yeah. And these cases also have complicated income structures where you might have a spouse who has extensive deferred compensation. They might have interests in private equity funds that allow them a benefit of carried interest. They might have restricted stock units or stock options. And all of these types of income structures result in very complicated tax implications. So we're dealing with that as well.
Mm-hmm. What would you say, Melissa, if you had to pick, what is the most difficult thing you do?
Oh, that's a no-brainer. The most difficult thing we do is when we have to deal with issues related to child custody.
Oh, that's got to be the hardest. Yes, that would make sense.
It's really difficult. And,
yeah.
I'm a mother. I have 3 children. Mm-hmm. And what's more important than your kids, and making sure that they're happy and safe. And, a lot of issues can arise surrounding, custody issues.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be heartbreaking at times. It can also be very rewarding if we can guide people to a result that ensures that their children are safe, protected, and happy. And a lot of people don't know there's really 2 types of custody. There's legal custody and there's physical custody. Both those issues need to be resolved when people go through a divorce. And both can be, very challenging depending on the issues that are presented.
How do you even decide in a child custody case, which way to go? I mean, you'll typically hear, they always go with the women, but that may not always be the case. Like, how do you even decide that?
Yeah, so it isn't always the case. And the standard that is used in Connecticut is a standard called best interests of the children. And it's pretty basic. What's best for the kids? There's no doubt that what would be best for the kids, if the parents can come together and agree on the direction that their new family structure should take. But sometimes that's just not possible, and people are ingrained in a conflict and really have different opinions about what's best for the children. And in those situations, you go in front of a judge and you present evidence about what you think is best for your children. And you might have certain experts come and give some guidance and advice. And those experts might be, a psychologist. It might be a teacher. It could be anyone involved in the children's lives. And oftentimes what will happen if there's a high conflict related to the children, depending on their age, will be appointed a guardian to offer an objective opinion about what is best for the children. Or if the children are older, they might be appointed an attorney themselves so that the attorney can then represent what the child's wants and desires are.
Oh, interesting. It totally depends, I would think. And we're talking this morning to attorney Melissa Needle of Needle Cuda, I think one of the most challenging jobs. Quite frankly, I give you and your office so much credit. I think divorce, unfortunately, is inevitable for a population of people. But, working through that, especially when you're dealing with families, can be very, very challenging. Melissa, we do have about a minute left. I'm just curious for people who want to reach out to you guys and they want your help. I am hoping to have you back on the show really soon so we could talk more about things like narcissistic personality disorder, how you guys have been shifting from COVID. But if people want to call you today and contact you for help, how do they do that?
It's pretty easy. Our phone number is 203-557-9500. And we have a lot of information on our website as well. And the address is Needle, Needle, like a needle in a haystack, Cuda, Cuda.com.
Okay. Attorney Melissa Needle, we appreciate you coming on. And like I said, I hope to have you back on again soon. It's a very difficult industry you work in, but I give you so much credit for the work that you do and would love to have you back on really soon.
I'd love to talk to Melissa anytime.
Yes, and also my father says hi. He says hi to your husband, Chris, and your whole office.
Okay. Thank you.
Good to talk to you. All right, we're going to go to the Lisa Wexler Show coming up next right here on